story is so weird because my significant other has like 8 computer screens. So I'm
Yes.
trying to figure it out, but I'm looking like a doers.
Isn't it supposed to be the more difficult country to get into, America? I mean, when we looked at it,
It is, and luckily because I had so I speak French fluently and I'm a sworn translator and a commissioner, blah blah blah. But because of that language, I've literally traveled the world because of that language. So I mean, I was a Rotary Exchange student and lived in New Caledonia, which is just off the coast from you guys, for a year. But during that year, I got to do Australia, I got to do Tahiti, Fiji, and New Zealand for 3 months. And French, because when you're exchange student, you have to do your matric again.
yeah,
And we had 14 subjects, Steve. I'm not lying to you. And one of them was philosophy.
it's important.
Philosophy.
It's like
So
history.
I passed.
My dad used to say, "Where on earth are you going to use history one day when you're working?"
Exactly.
But I loved history. I loved every second of it, and yeah, it's the only
I
subject
loved
for a full A for.
is it?
Yeah.
No, so history and geography were languages, and then I had to do English as a second language, which I almost failed English because we don't learn it like that. We don't learn past, present, yada 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 crap. And when I would read, because I speak fast, and most South Africans speak fast because you've got to get it in before someone interrupts you.
Exactly.
When I read, it's so quick. And all the French kids would be like, Jesus, calm down, lady, calm down. Just to a small panic. But and French has gotten me everywhere. I lived in Bali because of French. I got a bursary to study in France because I spoke French, and obviously because you can't be stupid to get a bursary. And Club Med job, French. The job here in the USA, French. Jobs in Durban, French. I mean, it changed my whole life. Literally, Rotary Exchange student, literally changed my entire life.
Amazing. Well, I love it.
I could be on a plot now in Benoni.
We got straight into it. I absolutely love it because I was going to do the formalities and introduction. We just went straight into it. Just tell everyone your name first.
So it's Marianne Postma, and then hyphen Harris, because I haven't got the divorce. The divorce is finalized, but I haven't actually gotten the Harris taken off yet.
And I wanted you to say it because I was like leaning towards Marianne. I'm like, no. She said she's English.
Everyone does that. There's 2 A's in Marianne, and there's a hyphen in Marianne, and Marianne has an O in it. So funny enough, my spelling is the French spelling, which is so iconic with how my life ended up.
Did that contribute in any way for you to your French education?
Well, it's funny enough, when I got to New Caledonia, everyone was like, blah, 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 in French. And I was like, listen, China, speak to me in Zulu or Afrikaans because French isn't cutting it. And they were like, but your name is iconic. I'm literally on, well, not me, but Marianne in French is on all the stamps, on all the coins. It's literally their symbol of liberty and equality. And it's spelled exactly like mine. And I'm like, I had no idea. My mom just pulled it out of her ass.
Wow. All right. Well, amazing. Okay, so look, we now know a bit about your migration story. It was really well summarized, I must say. To tell you the truth, I was more interested because when I contacted you for an interview, I thought to myself, well, we're going to probably make it another immigration story. But you know what? You're such an entrepreneur. Sorry, there you go. There, I'm going French. Entrepreneur. Tell us a bit about your business. How does the Hadeda fit into the French-educated American South African lady?
So during COVID, I found it hard, as everyone did, to be able to get South African goodies. Yes. And I was like, man, this really sucks. And then a friend of mine owns a company. She imports South African goodies and stuff sits on the shelves. So I actually made a suggestion to her saying, why don't you start a subscription box? Get rid of your crap that's not selling. Just shove it in a box with some chocolates and everyone will be happy. She's like, oh, I've got too much on my plate. And then I went, why didn't I just do that? I'm not doing anything right now because I've got a background in hotels, and of course everything closed during COVID. And I was like, you know what? Let me come up with a name. And I did, I'm a lucky dip, lucky packet. I mean, I came up with a whole bunch of things. And I thought, what is most pronounceable for Americans that is not completely a Zulu word or a Xhosa word or something Vendu word? And I thought, Hadeda. Every South African knows what that is. There's no one in the whole world that is South African that does not know what a Hadeda is. And it's the most pronounceable word. So I thought, screw it, let's go with the Hadeda box. And now I have shelves and shelves of goodies, which can show because I've put on like 100 pounds. And I'm never short of anything that I want. Plus, I have a couple hundred subscribers that every 3 months they get a box or a doos and enjoy a taste of home. We've got some great suppliers. We love small businesses. Yeah. So our biltong guy is Billy Biltong out of Missouri, Giovanni Falco. And I don't eat meat. I haven't eaten meat in 22 years, so I can't tell you the quality, but everyone I've spoken to loves their biltong and drovors. And then we have a fudge lady out of Georgia. She makes it at home in her kitchen, packages it for us. It's easy enough for your neighbors to buy something from you, but your real clients are someone that's in California or Colorado, and shipping's not fun, but it's working and we love it. And then we had a second business that's Cafe Calabash. Yeah. And I bake my own bread, and then we make the best bunny chows this side of the Mississippi. And peri-peri prawns, but proper ones with the heads on, not American shrimp, like proper prawns. I introduced them to my American boyfriend, and I said to him, you have to take the head, squeeze it, and suck it. And he was like, no, that's not right. He tried one, never again.
So I'm a big fudge. I've got a sweet tooth, so I make my own fudge quite often. And 2 out of 3 batches.
It's not easy to make, eh?
It's not, no. 2 out of 3 batches is all right. Now, the recipe I got from my mother-in-law includes a cup of flour, which I've never saw in my life until I actually got married to my wife. And then my mother-in-law introduced me to this recipe, and I tried it with a spoon of cream of tartar, or whatever you call it. And it comes out beautifully, like it just melts away in your mouth. But you need to have your heat just right at sort of a medium strength. Otherwise, you easily overcook it, and it's either going to go like the sugary sort of rocks that you break your teeth on, or maybe toffee, which you break your teeth on as well. So,
or you'll take your fillings out.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to make, and I'll be honest. My last batch, I still got a small piece left in the cupboard. I need to take a 50-pound hammer to it just to eat it. It didn't come out great. But
so I tried to make it. I tried, and I never heard of the cream of tartar or the flour. I mean, I've never heard of that. Maybe that's what my girl does. I have no idea.
I'll forward you the recipe. It's on Oorsee. If you search it on the app, it's on the post. So if you go to the app and you go to shortcuts, you'll scroll down. You'll see there's a post section. If you go into the view more section, you'll see it's one of the recipes. Okay. And it's really easy to make. And I posted it online. I was expecting a ton of controversy because of the flour, but there were so many people who knew about that method. And
see, I've never heard of that. Not one time have I ever heard of that.
Neither did I. And then I tried it. I'm like, oh my word, it actually works. It does work. What was the other thing that you mentioned? Peri-peri prawns. I can't remember when last I had that. Me and my wife, we love prawns. And that's something you get quite a lot in Australia. So we buy it and we'll fry it and all kinds of things. But Miranda, was it peri-peri prawns try? It's like she's.
I'm telling you, I marinate them overnight so that all the juices get into every little crevice.
Yeah.
And then, believe it or not, and this is going to be highly controversial for anyone that listens to this interview, I'd have a peri-peri, tomato, onion, and garlic hot mix, almost like, you know how the Vietnamese carry their stock from generation to generation?
Yeah.
I have this stock mix that I use, and then I boil it so that it must be like bubbling hot, boiling. I drop the prawns in there for literally maybe 45 seconds, and it gets all that flavor into them. And now they've been marinated, so it gets all the flavor into them. And then you have the braai ready, and then you chuck them on the braai and just finish them off. I'm telling you right now, you will never have tasted a prawn better than that in your entire life.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have this week. It's
Oh.
Sunday today. This week, sometime I'm gonna have to make some prawns.
Now, I'll send you my recipe, and then you try it. And it's almost like blanching them, just so that you know you've got, like, everything is cooked through. Because sometimes the braai's too hot, or it's not hot enough, and you'll get the outside looks like it's cooked, and then you get inside and it's still a little bit,
Yeah.
This way, you know, it's 45 seconds. That's all you need. But the mix must be boiling hot. It must be bubbling like a cauldron. You drop them in. I've got a little net thing that I use. Put them in there. Do that 45 seconds. Pull them out. You'll see the whiteness, but it hasn't gone completely pink yet because you're going to finish them on the braai. And then you still get the charcoal taste at the same time. It's so funny. My American boyfriend, he doesn't braai. Nope.
Oh.
If anyone wants anything braaied in this house, it has to be yours truly.
Well,
and I don't mind, because at least I know it's getting done right.
Yeah. Now, right. So I know it seems the more I get involved in the expat thing, right? Now I've been an expat for 5 years. No, sorry, 8 years now. So it's 5 years in Australia and then 3 years in the UK. The more I get to know who is actually the pioneers out there, and your name pops up all the time. It's you, it's the Rust lady, it's Walter, it's the guy that owns the Manos. His name pops up everywhere. Surely your businesses must be doing well. That you're, I mean, I can see you're quite generous as well, because you're giving away stuff all the time. What is your give us a ballpark figure? How much do you sell per month?
Less than you think.
Really?
And the reason being is the competition is actually quite big. We actually still, as a human being and as a general expat, I still support small businesses coming out of San Diego. Every so often, I will buy regular full retail price from, like, the aubergines and the, you know, African Huts, whatever. I'll do it if there's something they have that I can't get from a wholesaler. I still support other South Africans.
Yeah.
I think what happens here in America is we're so used to everything being so cheap. You can go, like in South Africa, you go to a Guess store, for example, or Louis Vuitton or whatever, and you're paying thousands of rands for a purse or a handbag or whatever. Yeah, we go to Ross Dress for Less or TJ Maxx, and we're paying $10.
Yeah.
So when we think about, oh, let's pay for the subscription box, it's $190 for a year. Okay, a whole year, and every 3 months you get a doos that is so full. I almost actually put too much in it because I feel guilty if there's space in the box. Like, I want you to cut through the tape and actually slice the jelly tots open when you cut it, because I want that box to be so full. But Americans look at it and they go, oh, $190 up front. I'm saying Americans because they become so Americanized. The expats that do support me are still properly small businesses, entrepreneurs, people that are desperate for a taste of home, that haven't become so Americanized that they don't care about knickknacks anymore. Or when I see tomato fritos, yes, I will buy every single bag, because you don't get anything like it in America. I have been here since 2011. It's 2023 now, literally a quarter of my life, and I still miss Ultramel, Melrose, tomato fritos. None of them available in America, ever. You have to literally get them from Canada, ship them over, get the customs, pay the taxes, do whatever. Or a very good friend will pack you a suitcase full of everything. Or your mother, who loves you dearly, will send you a DHL for $500.
So it's your buddy that got busted on the airport with 37 kilometers.
What a poople! Who does 40 kgs
40
of full? That's more than a suitcase. So
I
he
can
obviously, what an idiot.
I can just see that guy's tears. I'm like, oh my goodness.
I would have gone back through the door and sat there and ate every single piece if I was him. I would not have let them take it away from me.
I'm pretty sure America's got great beef. He could have just made his own. Just bring the spice, or if I don't know if that's even allowed. I don't know what's the rules.
No, the spice is allowed. But you can buy the spice here. A bunch of people bring it in. Freddie Hirsch, whatever. It's available everywhere, or you just make it yourself. It's not the end of the world. But here's the thing. And when we started Hadeda in the first year of COVID, right? I was begging Biltong people to be our suppliers. I was paying for it. A lot of boxes get free stuff. We literally pay for every single thing that goes into our box. Nothing is free.
Yeah.
So we're paying, yes, wholesale prices, but we still have to do our business, blah, blah, blah. 5 companies in America, full stop, that I could get Biltong from. We tried, and I'm not going to say the names, we tried 3 different places. None of them were reliable, right? Now, today, there must be 5 new companies every week opening, and I can't even count how many Biltong, like Biltong Oaks and Biltong Guys and Biltong this and Biltong everywhere in America. It's going insane. And it's funny because there are only 2 places legally that can make Biltong to sell, like to resell, and it's in North Carolina and Texas. 2 plants in the whole country are legally allowed to make Biltong and Drovors. They use your recipe. Only 2.
I considered selling Biltong, honestly, because we Australians love Biltong. They absolutely love it. And quite often I'll go into the South African shops close by, and there'll be Australians in there buying Biltong. And at some stage, I actually considered it because I built a massive Biltong make, and I thought to myself, wow, I can actually make some and just sell it at work. I gave up on that idea because I've got other skill sets I thought I could rather try out to make an additional income. But before you know, I mean, when we moved here, it was Springbok Foods, it was Tony's, and the South African shop. Now I can think of at least 4 more that started up.
Yep.
So on one side, I'm like, yeah, wow, it's amazing. We're really spreading out. But on the other side, what is it healthy for so many of the same sort of businesses to be in competition with each other?
And that's why Hadeda is not as popular as it should be, because every now and then something pops up. So in Texas alone, and Texas for some reason has a huge amount of South African expats. To me, it's too humid. I don't like hurricanes. I'm not fond of sweating. So I would never live in Texas or even Florida for that matter. But so many South Africans and a lot of Afrikaans South Africans. So you have tons of stores. And then Atlanta, tons of opportunities. Everything's south. Coming up north, literally one tiny little store close by that sometimes has stuff, and nothing north of that. There's one guy, LJ Smith, who just opened a restaurant in southern New York. And he had one in South Africa called Braai Masters, Thirsty Braai Masters.
Unless so he's in America now, right?
Yeah, he was in Wisconsin and he just moved to New York. He took over a property that has axe throwing and some other rubbish. But his whole thing is braai and South African wine. He has like over 700 bottles of South African wine that he has. He does pairings, and of course he does braais and whatever. And now he's got the rugby going on and all that kind of thing. But he was in Wisconsin. South Africans don't like cold weather, so I'm not even sure what he was doing in Wisconsin. But now he's in southern New York, and he's got Thirsty Barbecue Masters. So they couldn't call it Braai Masters because in America, you know, Americans don't know anything about braai. But yeah, exactly. So he just opened a couple of weeks ago, and he's really doing well because I helped him. I helped him just, you know, get the word around for people in New York and Pennsylvania, northern Pennsylvania, that are close to him, that could just do like an hour or 2 drive is not bad if you know you're going to get quality boerewors, quality, you know, dops, that kind of thing. I'll do it all day long. Here in Virginia, we have such a huge population of fancy South Africans will not drive further than 45 minutes for anything. And there's always traffic because you're around DC, one of the most populated metropolitan areas, second to New York City. No one wants to drive for anything. We have a Heritage Day festival coming up on the 24th of September, which is Heritage Day. It's a Sunday. It's an hour away from everyone. I chose a central location. So it's an hour from here. It's an hour from here. It's like literally it's perfect location. Everyone's going, oh.
That's the one you've been telling me about.
But it's a Sunday. Yeah, it's also South African Heritage Day. I have rugby showing. I've got a guy coming with oysters. I've got a Tani doing samosas and curry. I've got another chick doing bunny chows. I've got another oak coming for boerewors with bulta. I have everything you could possibly want. Milk tart, cook sisters, peppermint crisp tart, granadillas. I've got lychees getting flown in. Everything you think of. Live music, the works. Oh, I don't want to drive an hour, but I miss South Africa so much. But I don't want
feel
to
like
drive.
coming. I feel like coming, and I'm like 40
Yes.
hours flight away.
Honestly, oath to God in my life, it drives me nuts. Like, I feel like I wish I had a transport company that could go from house to house and just pick up all these winers and get them. And it's at a winery. So, you know, there's going to be dops. Plus, we're doing a pickup party for actual South African alcohol. So you can have your Hunters Dry, Savannah, Klipdrift, everything. There's a pickup tent. So if you pre-order it and pay for it, you pick it up and you can drink it or you can take it home. We're offering the perfect South African party, and everyone's going, oh, but it's an hour drive. It's so far.
With all those South Africans watching, come on.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you guys? Come on. I want to go, but I can't. I'm on the other side of the world.
Well, you've got 2 months to get here, so take a slow boat from Australia.
I've got work.
Yes, now my cup's empty. Let me go get a Hunter's Dry. Hold on.
Yeah, no, I've got a sip left.
No, I don't even have even a drop.
Right. Well, Marianne, is it Marianne? Did I forget?
Marianne.
My apologies. We'll try and at least get the word around, because we've got a semi big reach online. What I've said from the beginning was we're not. Oorsee is not here to compete with Facebook. We can't. I just want to give South Africans a central location where they can get together. With the sign up, we take enough information from them, not a privacy breach, but enough information so that when South Africans search for each other, they can actually get hits with South Africans that they can be friends with, people that they would have been friends with if they were still in South Africa, if you know what I mean.
And I exactly know what you mean.
At the same time, if someone comes on there and they're looking for stuff like job advice, immigration advice, if they can't find the answers on Oorsee, I've got the Facebook groups linked there as well. Go and visit them. So I've got the direct link to the South Africans currently living abroad group, which is basically our partner group. Yes. We would consider them part of Oorsee. And then I've got a few banners like Demeanor's group, the American one, and then the Melbourne groups I've got on there. So it's all one big interweb family of connected groups.
And that's exactly what I think Oorsee almost encompasses, like overseas. Everyone that, and you can be in South Africa and join it, obviously.
Oh, yeah, too. No, I didn't limit anyone.
I feel like it literally is a meeting place of every expat that lives in Singapore, Indonesia, on Antarctica. I mean, you can be on that app and be connected at any time. And I actually noticed, I went through it quite extensively when I first joined. You have the job postings, you have like different things that I haven't seen on other apps. So it's definitely.
I wanted to give people a tool they can use. Look, I did try a few other things which I eventually took off, and I'm like, we're not ready for this yet. Like the vendor system, which I was very excited about, but uses that. So someone that sells rusks, for them it worked really well. But if someone sells a shirt, that shirt comes in 3 different sizes and in 5 different colors. Okay. That's when it gets complicated. Now, I know how to upload those things with variables and attributes and all those technical details, but asking an old Tanny that's in a 60s to enter all those details as she starts uploading products.
Too much. Yeah.
Too much. So
what you probably could do is like, links rather. I mean, everyone shops online now. I mean, especially during COVID. Yeah. Still use a grocery service because I'm that lazy, but also I spend less money using a grocery service delivery as opposed to walking up and down aisles and adding stuff that I know I don't need, but I'm going to buy anyway. Yeah. So COVID changed a lot of stuff for a lot of people. So I think that if you just do links, like a banner or just a link page, and then everyone can, and you know what? And here's where you can actually start profiting from your app is businesses can pay you to be on the link page.
Well, I've got the business listings page, which was originally going to be a paid service, like $5 listing or whatever. But then I decided, you know what, it's early stages. I want to really encourage South African businesses to first of all post their businesses, and then make something out of it. Because with the business listings, I've added live map views, live contact forms, so people can contact them directly from the app, a rating system, a social media sharing system, all built into that one business listing area. And I was blown away when I started seeing people using it. I think you're on there. That's where you were one of the first people that used it.
Of course, that's why I was number 1 for so long. Now I'm like number 4.
Oh, you mean on the rating list?
Yeah, because I keep looking on how I can get more spora, and I'm adding connections every hour. I'm on the adding, and I'm still like, I was number 1 for so long, and now I'm like number 3 or 4 or something.
Well, it's about time you get something back for what you are doing, because you're helping so many businesses, you're helping so many people. I've seen it, I'm witness to it, that look, Oorsee is not paying me a cent at the moment, so I've got every month I've got a set budget which I use for marketing to get people in, and sometimes that involves a little voucher here and there. It involves sponsoring an event. Like, for instance, the Potjie Kos, your master Potjie Kos competition.
I came up with that name, by the way.
You came up with that name. That is amazing. I was very surprised when I heard.
I'm number 3. Number 3.
Number 3. Who's currently winning?
Geraldine Lamprecht and Linky Lamprecht. So the cousins are 1 and 2. And then number 4 is Kalahari Kabu. And then who cares about the rest?
Yeah, Kalahari Kabu, he can't win. That's it's insider trading. Well,
insider trading.
He's so Kalahari is the sponsor of the Biltong Maker. I'm very grateful. I was so surprised when he called me saying, "Listen, I want to give you a machine to give away." I'm like, "Oh, so it's not for me one?" He's like, "No.
No, not for you.
Give it away." I'm like, "Oh, all right." So I told him, "Listen, obviously it's pricey. These machines are not cheap, but I'll save up for one and I'll buy my own." But there's so many people that went above and beyond to help share Oorsee, like you, Geraldine, Ereline.
Why didn't you ask me for a Hadeda hamper?
No, I don't ask people for sponsorships. If they want to give one, they need to give it.
I asked you for sponsorship.
Did you? Oh yeah, but that's fine. I'll sponsor you. That's different. You've actually got stuff. Marianne, thank you so much for your time. Marianne. I'm going to get it right. Look, Afrikaans is my first language. So I acknowledge you do a lot for the South African community, and I'm going to do my very best to get the word out so people in America know, South Africans in America know what your business is, where they can find you, how they can get hold of you, and all of those things. And hopefully you can grow your clientele a bit. Is there any, so last thing that I really want to ask, do you have any plans, and there you go, do you have any plans for Hadeda above what you're currently doing with it? Are you going to expand? I know you mentioned something about Australia, but any other countries?
I was thinking of New Zealand. I have a few people there that might be able to carry it. Ireland is another option because yes, there's some online stores, but they're not as populated as the UK in terms of shops. So Ireland's an option. And that's about it, because everywhere else you can get it quite freely. So I'm ready to rumble. So if there's anyone out there that has some storage space and is interested in being a Hadeda, then let's get it going.
All right. Well, from our end, we'll see. I'll do my very best to shed some light on your business. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Stephen. Remember to cut out all the bad.
I must say, from all the chats I've had with everyone, this was the funnest chat I've ever had. Thank you.
Ach, jy praat kak, man.
No, really, it was a great chat.
Oh, yay. We should do it again, but just so we can gossip.
Yeah, no, I loved it. No, we should. Oh, it's amazing. Yeah.
Cut out all the bad stuff,
Next time I'll get my wife to join in and we all could sit and have a group chat.
Yeah. I'll send her some Hunter's Dry.
Thank you. Have a good evening or good day. Good morning.
Ja, good morning. Ja. Lekker aan vir julle.
Bye-bye. Cheers.
Tada.